One of the really striking things about the attack on the Charlie Hebdo magazine is that it has been conducted clearly by people who are both military professionals and, I'll wager, have combat experience. They have killed in the past. Now, this is very, very different to the sort of self-starter, so-called lone wolf attacks that we've seen on the streets of London with the murder of Lee Rigby using kitchen utensils, or indeed recent attacks inside France where people have used vehicles as weapons. This is using old-fashioned infantry tactics to cause mayhem on the streets of Paris. Now, let's have a look at the first piece of video footage. Now, I'm going to stop it just before the firing starts. The two individuals who've exited this car these are the two terrorists, two of the three terrorists. They are moving in what's called mutual support of one another. They're spaced out and they're slightly staggered. One is further forward than the other. But both of them are mounting their weapons correctly. They're taking aim down the sights. They're not spraying. They're not firing from the hip because their target further down the street is a policeman. Each one of those shots we just heard has been individually fired off. It's been carefully pulled. That's called an aimed shot. It's not fired on automatic. Again, a sign of professional training. In the heat of the moment, less well-trained people start firing on automatic. They get frightened. They get excited. Their victim is a policeman. We blurred out the image of him. He's lying on the ground. He's got his hands in the air. Now, the two gunmen approach, and this is the striking thing. They, again, are moving in mutual support. Now, we paused it at the point just before the gunman in the far ground actually executes. He murders the policeman on the street, but he does so without breaking stride. He does it at a jog, with a familiarity with his weapon and a coldness that, to me at any rate, indicates that this man has killed before. They then move on down the street, check that they're safe, and then start moving back to their vehicle. Now there, just in the background, this gunman is making some hand signals saying, that's it, wrap up. That's a signal that in broad terms means regroup, get back to the vehicle. He's signalling to the guy behind him, job done, let's get out of here. Now in this second video we see a similar level of mutual support, but this is an infantry manoeuvre known as moving in bounds, when people leapfrog one another. So there we see a gunman at the junction in the street there. He's gone forward. We know from other camera angles that we've looked at that this actually shows the two gunmen moving forward and opening fire at a police car. But at this moment, we have one gunman forward and one is just emerging from next to his car. Now, the first gunman opened fires and then is joined by the second one. The second one is bounding forward in that standard infantry way. And then they both withdraw, again facing towards where they perceive the threat may come, and they go back to their car. And the chilling moment here is that back at their car, they're extremely calm. Again, that would indicate that they're not overexcited, that they've got control of their adrenal reactions in this fight or flight environment, and that they're pretty relaxed. They've done this before. When people are learning to use weapons, especially automatic weapons, they tend to jump around. They've got a big kick and they're a bit frightening. People close their eyes, and so the bullets tend to spray all over the place. It takes a degree of training and a degree of experience to fire accurate shots when under pressure, let alone when faced with combat. In this case, we see a police vehicle that's got a very tight grouping of probably shots fired on double tap. That's when two shots are pulled off almost simultaneously, but after careful aiming. They're all in a very similar area. Now, this may have been at relatively short range, but with an AK-47 that tends to leap in the air, this is a clear indication that somebody has proper weapons training and is confident.